That's right. You're absolutely right. I love what you say about design for impact. And I think I've been in situations and throughout my careers, I will date myself a little bit, but I've been doing this for years in different capacities at some point. And I've been in situations where it's been a really smooth and you can work with your brand team and your marketing team. And I've seen situations where the insights team is just really just stunted in the ability to do things. And I've reflected on like why what was the difference between those two situations. And I think it goes back to what you said. How do you design for impact? I ask myself sometimes, and I also remind my team and people that are new to this, is when you have a internal business need, and for example a member from the brand team comes to you and says, okay, this is the problem. Well, number one, unless you're brand new to the company, like, you should be familiar that that's the problem. And if you're not familiar that this is an existing problem, give yourself an assignment to become more ingrained with your team. Go on the road. If you're in healthcare like I'm, get on the road with one of the field reps, sit with your team, schedule one-on-one, ask to be included in some of the debriefs, and explain to them why you want to be included. But if you should know that they come to you, and you should know that this in fact is a problem. Once you've identified the problem and agree on that, it's your job, insights expert, to design the solution. It's not the brand team's job. So often I've seen the brand team says, okay, we need you to do an ATU. We need you to run this analysis. We need you to ask such and such questions. As a partner and as an expert, you have to reflect on, is this going to be designed? It goes back to, is this going to be designed for impact? What is the impact that we're looking to achieve? And then you help design the questions. You lead that discussion. You lead that methodology. You lead that research design. Because it's like the brand team asking you to create a direct-to-patient campaign. That's about as good as you're going to be on that as they will in creating a research design. So it's your job as the expert. And what I've seen happen is when my colleagues have taken just complete direction from the brand team is actually doing their job. They deliver something and it's not what the team was looking for. And now it's sitting at the desk, or now you're losing credibility. Now you're being invited to meetings less often. Now you're not being included in those critical conversations.
Now you're in the death spiral.
Now you're in the death spiral. So what do you do? And you have to build that rapport, and that rapport comes from trust, and trust comes from being ingrained in the business, understanding what are the gaps. And it's not going to come from sitting in front of your desk all day. It's not going to come from just talking to external customers. It's not going to come from an Excel spreadsheet, and God knows I love those. It's not going to come from that. It's going to come from just having a seat, like you said, having a seat at the table. And having a seat at the table, you have to bring value, or show them how you're going to bring the value.
First of all, Jelena, I think this is wonderful, wonderful conversation, right? These are such pertinent conversations to have. And one tip that I will just add for our viewers based on what you just said is, I advise clients to play the let's pretend game with their internal clients. Mm-hmm. So when you get approached by your internal teams and they're talking to you about, well, this is what we want to do, this is what we want to do. And sometimes, they'll say, well, we did focus groups earlier, or we did this survey. And you feel like you're getting all pushed into the how will we do this? Mm-hmm. Ask them, so that's all great. Let's pretend that the work is done. Let's pretend that you and I are having this conversation 3 months out, right? Where I'm sitting in your office, or we're doing a virtual meeting, and we're talking through the results of this work. Help me understand what will make you say, great job, I love what you found, this is exactly what I was looking for. Help me understand, what will success look like for you in this project? What do you need to see that you'll be like, man, this is the best research project ever? So start playing that let's pretend game with them, so that you can, again, understand what is the impact that they're trying to make. What's the business impact and so on. So I've found having that mock let's pretend gaming situation works really well because it takes your internal clients and even yourself out of that mindset of, well, how am I going to solve this? How am I going to do this? It takes you out of that. It fast forwards you into the future, and now you can customize it.